Hey, what's up, y'all? And this is a Light-Bulb moment.
I'm Asania.
And I'm Deshaun.
And it's a motivational podcast.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, awesomeness. I love motivational podcasts.
Stay tuned.
Y'all check it out. Hey, what's up, people? And this is the Light-Bulb Moment podcast. And I am Deshaun. You're on.
I'm Asania. Taylor.
Yeah.
How do you say, man, you like open like a sports commentator on
I don't know.
TV shows. So
It just kind of happens.
This shit is in you, Barry. What are you talking about? I don't
mean,
think you realize it.
It's easy to do once you've kind of been doing it.
For so long?
Yeah, you don't know. How else are you going to start a show?
I don't know. You got me on that one.
See?
With the eye roll. How you doing today, man?
I'm great. How you? He's so silly. But I'm great. How you doing?
I'm a man. That's how I'm doing.
I'm
a man.
Phenomenally.
Where's the bass at?
Right here.
Right where?
I don't know why you acting like I ain't got bass in my voice.
You say what?
I am a man. I do have bass. Sometimes I can make my voice deeper.
Oh, I hear you, bro.
But I'm a baritone in vocals.
I don't know what the different levels of vocals are.
Yeah, in male vocals, you have tenor, baritone, and bass. I'm a baritone. I'm a mid-level singer.
And with tenor is the high, and then bass is
The low.
Is the nigga that was in Boys II Men that was
Yeah.
killing them on all the time. Yeah, baby.
Yep.
I just wanted to do that.
Baby, I just came to let you know.
So, that's Barry White. So is Barry White like a baritone slash bass?
Yeah, his voice is.
Shut up. You just taught me something. I just bing light bulb moment.
Yeah. That's a light bulb moment.
No, that was for me. I just had one.
Oh, and you know, you're allowed.
Yes, I know. That's the whole point.
But anyway, we're here to talk about anxiety.
How it affects you.
Yeah.
Different perspectives on it, on having it and not having it.
And it's going to be very, personal testimonies to anxiety.
Right. And then it seems like it's coming up more and more in conversation.
Right.
As far as YouTube and stuff like that is concerned. Especially with, Charlemagne, like we were discussing earlier. Charlemagne just put out the book.
Right.
Shook One.
Who'd have thunk Charlemagne suffers from anxiety?
Why not?
Oh my gosh.
I don't feel like it's exclusive to any type
It
of
definitely
individual.
isn't, but I think it would it'll surprise you what some people are going through. I would say that. Because
Because you just never know,
yeah.
man. And that's crazy when you look at somebody and you say their situation looks better, but you don't know what they went through to get through that situation because you walk in their shoes and go through all the trials and tribulations.
Right.
That they had to experience before they got to that point.
Right.
So
Now, I don't think I have anxiety. Now, I'm not like this person who can just do anything and who's always, as cool as I sound. Haha. But I don't.
you are as cool as you sound.
I mean, I get nervous.
He's as cool as he sounds. I just sense in my own
cool as he
He's
sounds,
that cool, bro.
I definitely get nervous and stuff, and I get anxious, and I have those things. You know what I'm saying? But it's never to the point where I'm saying, where I'm experiencing like a panic attack.
Right.
And I'm like having to the paper bag thing. I know that's like a running joke. The people with the paper bags, like if they breathing real heavy. Like I've never had that episode.
Seeing from the videos and stuff, I watch. I don't think anxiety attack. I think it's a panic attack, and you have anxiety.
Okay.
Anxiety leads to a panic attack.
Okay.
I like watching all the different stuff. I guess I'm going to find a real therapist or something who can actually break down the difference between anxiety attack and
Disclaimer: we're not real therapists.
Not at all. This is all opinion based.
Right.
All opinion based. But for
Be
those,
diagnosing yourself after this episode.
go see a therapist. They'll diagnose you with the right prescription, but you have to give them the right symptoms. So I think the first thing when trying to identify issues that come with anxiety is being able to identify your symptoms. Like the one guy who said he was going to record himself through all his experiences and stuff. I think he was trying to do that so he can identify not just his triggers, but also his symptoms. Some people, I feel like for myself, sometimes I get overwhelmed and I have to go do something active to release it. And sometimes I get underwhelmed to the point where I just shut down. Or I get overwhelmed to the point where I shut down because it's too much. And I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to be around anybody. And I think that's more of the panic attack state. Like I'm freaking out. I'm getting, like, my brain won't focus on one thing. It's just too much stuff coming at me. So.
How do you pull yourself out of these situations?
Oh, man, there's so many different variables. I think I've had attacks, and I'm going to just say attack. I don't want to put anxiety or panic on it. I'm going to just say I've had attacks where I felt so overwhelmed where I just wanted to cry nonstop, like uncontrollably, just nonstop. And for those, I've learned to just cry then. Cause
just let it out.
Let it out.
Go through it.
Just trying to hold on to it is when it becomes too tough, and then that's when you start shutting down, and think that's a lot of energy. You get tense. Your body's tense that entire time. You fighting these emotions. They're gonna keep resurfacing.
And crying is a lot. I feel like I don't cry often, but not a lot as
you are, man.
I'm a man, phenomenally. No, but seriously.
That does not help your case with the phenomenal.
When I say crying is a lot, I'm not saying crying is dramatic. I feel like physically crying is exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
So like physically, it's a lot. Like I feel like every time I've ever cried, after I cried, I want to go to sleep.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
If you cry, you get it out, you relax. Once you get it all out, if instead of holding, if you get out in the beginning, you don't feel as exhausted. I think it's more of the trying to fight the feeling and the emotion and getting overwhelmed. And then, you know, the, what do they say, anxiety releases cortisol. We need to look at what cortisol is. Look it up. Look and see what cortisol is.
How you spell it? We'll find out. Go ahead.
Cortisol.
Did you mean
it's
cortisol?
Cortisol. But I'm assuming that tenses your body up versus during the panic attack, it releases adrenaline. And that's when, you know, you kind of go into fight or flight mode. You can't find it.
You gonna find it.
Autocorrect is not doing you right.
Cortisol.
The definition.
I spelled it kind of wrong.
Look at that dead air.
I know, right? But anyway, cortisol is a steroid hormone in the glucocorticoid class of hormones. When used as a medication, it is known as hydrocortisone. Not hydrocodone, like
no,
the okay.
I don't know.
It is produced in humans by the zona. All these medical words.
System.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, go back. Let me see it. I was reading off of Google. Should we stop?
It's cool.
Okay.
No, that's too much. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, that's like
deep. Yeah.
That's like med school stuff.
Yeah, you have to have a degree.
Right.
In order to read, it's function to increase blood sugar through the, I don't know that word, to suppress the immune system and to aid in the metabolism of fat, protein, carbohydrates. It also decreases bone formation. I guess. I don't understand what the difference between the adrenaline and the hydrocortisol is.
Okay, but what were you trying to say?
I just notice when having anxiety, your body tenses up. It kind of leaves you in a state of paralysis. I don't know how the cortisol affects your body in that way. Probably have to research the shit out of that. We don't have the time to do it right now. But I just notice my body feels completely different in those situations where anxiety is, I'm worried about a situation versus once I get into it and then I panic and I just freak the hell out.
Now, is anxiety what someone's having when they're anxious?
I would assume people are anxious.
So you're just kind of going.
Yeah, I would tie the two together.
Like, say before a job interview or something like that, or before a date, you're like,
right, because you're worried about it. You're overthinking it.
You're like
and
shaking.
Like I said, there's different levels to that.
Right,
and there's different releases, different triggers. I think my anxiety probably. I don't recall having extreme anxiety. I know I had anxiety when I was in my teens and in my early 20s, but I think mine's intensified after Katrina occurred. And then I didn't pay attention to it until I graduated 5 years later from school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was in constant motion. I was constantly going. I was constantly moving. I was only focused on school.
Now, did you have anxiety
projects.
before Katrina? Or like going through the process of what Katrina turned out to be?
Like I said, I think I had it, but it wasn't as severe because I didn't take things as serious. Like maybe early elementary school, I would get worried about science projects because I was a procrastinator.
Yeah, like kids. Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I think everybody went through school and got in there like, damn.
Right. And then when I got to into my once I graduated from high school and there was no pressure of meeting anybody's demands, you know what I'm saying? This is due at this time, this is due at this time. It eased up. And I was pretty good through college. You know, I tried to juggle a few things, try to act like I was still in school, I still had classes, but for the most part, I didn't feel that weight on me, whether it be assignments, tests, because I came out in the middle. I shot for average because I knew if I wasn't putting in the work that this is what I was going to get. I didn't want a D or F. Wasn't trying to fail. Like I said, I made it through 4 years of college on probation most of that time. You know what I'm saying? Before I finally got kicked out. It's not something I'm proud of, but I realized I wasn't good. I didn't have to worry about as much.
Do you think structure gives you anxiety?
For me, I think lack of structure is what gives me anxiety.
Okay, so because we all gonna one day become independent of our jobs and we're gonna be able to do, what we're gonna do. So do you think, are you ready for that once you leave your job and go full into entrepreneurship?
Am I ready for it? No. Because if I was, I would have left my job already.
Okay.
If I was. To be 100%. I'm still stuck. There are certain things. Now my anxiety comes from the uncertainty of my future because my execution and my lack of structure. If my structure was better, then my execution would be better. If my execution was better, then I think I would excel at a lot of the things that I make attempts at.
So with that being said, do you think it's a way to get around anxiety if you quote unquote prepare more or don't procrastinate or, do the things that you should do prior to whatever
I think one of the things that helped me with my anxiety when it comes to personal triggers, like maybe paying bills or maybe paying or money being tight, is if I actually get up and go do it.
Okay.
Those are one of the big things that help me because money is probably one of my biggest triggers at this point.
Right. So can you practice your way out of anxiety?
I don't want to say practice, but I think you can prepare yourself for it. If you identify your triggers, you can figure out like a couple of things. Say figure out what your trigger is, and then figure out a way to handle your triggers. So for instance, I also have anxiety. I have I don't know if it's a phobia, but I get anxiety when it comes to crossing certain suspension bridges. So, say for instance, if you travel between Atlanta and New Orleans, going into Alabama and going into Mississippi, there's several overpasses that are very high.
So
and I get real tense.
Right. Oh, wow.
And I get real tight, like to the point where I have to have tunnel vision to make it through the entire ride.
New Orleans got tunnels?
No, we don't have any tunnels.
Savannah got a lot of bridges too. It's a lot of water. So
See, and that's the thing. It's not necessarily riding over water, but it's the overpass.
Oh, okay.
The huge overpass, because they have the bridges that go over water. They sit very close to the water. It's the ones that go up real high and then curve like an arc. They arc over. Yeah, the arches. Don't handle them well, baby.
What you be doing?
Now, here's the crazy part. I grew up around these things all my youth, but when I got to Atlanta, there are none in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have, I don't know why.
They're not really, maybe like Spaghetti Junction if you want to count a couple of those, but they don't sit over bodies of water.
I guess because Atlanta doesn't have a lot of water and it has hills.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to deal with that. And being away from that over the past 12 years.
You went home was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, think about the only experience out of 365 days, I'm going to experience it maybe 6 days, depending on how many times I go home.
Right.
So many times. Versus when I was living there, I had to deal with it every day, all the time. So I dealt with it because I had to face it, because I had no choice. Now when I go, like literally, we had to drive across the Mississippi River Bridge. And this is a city I grew up in. And I'm getting on this bridge and I'm just like,
And that's a big bridge.
Yeah, it's a mother. It's the twin span. It's not like the San Francisco,
That one over there.
nothing like that. The Golden Gate. No, it's not like the Golden Gate Bridge or anything, but it's a mother. Plus, I've had some experiences when it comes to just being on bridges and stuff.
What, did it shake?
No, I've had a couple of cars.
Ooh.
Like personal vehicle experiences.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty, when you get to the top of it, it moves.
See, I couldn't do that.
And you can feel it like...
I'm good.
That's
I'm good.
funny. But this is fun anxiety. There's a difference between...
Cool. I guess.
like roller coasters and stuff like that. This is like fun anxiety.
No, you're going to pull me off a stretcher.
Versus like people going through different type of panic attacks.
Right, and that's because whatever
daily.
It's whatever their insecurity or their phobia is or their inability to accept the unknown as far as like it's almost like really riding out on faith.
Okay.
Coming to work, you need this money as a server. You know you need to bring home a certain amount of money in this day. And you start getting anxious and frustrated and you start doing way too much because the anxiety is kicking in because you're getting overwhelmed because you're not really riding on faith. You're just riding on faith, you be calm, you relax, and you're just going to be patient until you get what you came in to receive.
When I get nervous or anxious, I try to breathe it out. Just take a lot of... I know
that helps sometimes.
Amateur to this, but it's like... Because sometimes I just be feeling like, so what you going to do? I mean, like, ain't nothing you can do. You can't... What you gonna rob?
That's a simple art of not giving a fuck, though.
Oh yeah,
Think about it. Some art of not giving a fuck. He was like, "Yo, you gotta really know what to give a fuck and what not to give a fuck about."
What, you gonna rob somebody?
Pardon my French, but right. See, but everybody don't have everybody's mind doesn't work that. I'm such an overthinker,
right?
And I don't know if that came from me playing games or just
so
as a
you're
kid
thinking
or
about
whatever.
all the different
I'm
scenarios.
running all the scenarios that last personal situation that I was in. I'm running like maybe. The stuff that, what I've been going through. Mm-hmm. I was running like 5 or 6 different scenarios through my head before I even had the information that I needed to know in order to move forward and progress and improve that scenario.
That's a lot of thinking.
I was thinking about, am I going to have to relocate? Am I going to have to give up this? Am I going to have to cancel this? Where's the money? What happens with the job? Can I support? This is going through, and I'm trying to have a conversation with the individual and it's not working.
Right. Oof. It's a whole lot.
It was a lot.
Do you think, does marijuana help with anxiety?
My therapist says it does.
She says it doesn't?
I've been to 1 or 2 therapists that said, I know at least one of them said, it's not good for you when you're in a state. Mm-hmm. It's not. Only because if you're overthinking, it's just going to intensify or whatever.
Whenever I've been high, it makes me overthink.
Paranoid.
Yeah. Not even sometimes I'm not even like a scary high. I'm just like a regular high. And it'll just start to... You just start to open all these doors in your head. And you started off thinking about rabbits, but you end up thinking about... like Paris. It's like,
right.
It's like you just keep going.
You're just going over the top. And it depends. I guess it depends on the weed. I can't speak because I don't know exactly what grade I'm getting every time I purchase. So
right. And I'm an amateur at that too. I'm an amateur today?
But I was told that when you think of marijuana, it just intensifies whatever state you're in. If you're tired, then it's going to relax you and just make you sleepier. Well, it depends if you're getting the upper or downer. Like if you're getting indica or sativa. I hope I pronounced that right. For my friends who are gonna mock me if I don't. But regardless, it just depends on which one you're taking. Some make you go up, some will make you go down. And but for the most part, when it comes to if I'm, for instance, when I get really, really angry, I'm not smoking. It's not gonna help. I don't know if it's. I need to look it up. I kind of think it has something to do with the receptors that the THC. Affecting your brain.
It's in the back of your head?
Well, I don't know. I'm just scratching the back of my neck because my hair is not. No, I was just scratching. But I would assume it's in the back. But I have no clue. But whatever receptors in your brain that the THC affect, I guess when you're upset, it's the same receptors that whatever endorphins are released when you're angry. Because I can't get high when I'm angry. I just don't.
It'll be blown. So, that's what people used to blow their high. They get mad, their high be gone. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My high be gone. Or if I'm really angry and I'm trying to smoke, I'm be angry while I'm angry. Like, I'm trying to tell you,
But you know what's
nigga.
good?
What I'm saying, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that just sound like a crackhead.
Right, I've been in them, like, I've hung with motherfuckers who are angry, high, but like, just sit around and complain during the whole smoke session. Like, we supposed to be chilling.
You blowing all
and
out.
relax, and you
Ruining it.
venting out.
Yeah. That's what alcohol is for. It is. Like, now.
Because that shit just quiets the brain.
I am not endorsing any type of alcohol consumption.
Any kind of substance abuse to
But
deal with issues.
A good glass of red wine.
See, and I think
relaxes
what is
you.
it about wine that
It's different from the other alcohols. It is. Especially when I need to go to sleep, even though that's not anxiety. But sometimes I have anxiety about sleep. I do have anxiety about sleep. When I have to get up early, I'll be in bed and won't be able to go to sleep. And that's when I go and I'll go and get red wine and I'll pass out.
Word.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And see, here's my thing. I get anxiety about sleep too. That's why I don't go to sleep. I pass out. I don't go to sleep. I pass out. Like, for instance, to me, going to sleep is you're going to get in the bed, lay down so you can go to sleep. No, I'm going to fight that shit.
So you don't believe in the act of going to sleep. Right.
Like, and the only time it happens is when I'm dating somebody.
Because y'all be in the bed together.
Because they're like, yo, come on, let's go get in the bed. We go in the bed. That's the time we go to sleep. But if I'm by myself, I'm literally like, until my eyes.
That's because when you was a child, you always did this?
Yeah, when I was a child.
Yeah, because you know how kids fight sleep because they'll run around and
then when I started playing video games, I used to call that adrenaline IV. As long as that joystick was in my hand and we were playing video games, I'm amped up. So, and I think that's another reason for the overthinking, the overactive brain from playing the games, which triggers the anxiety.
Oh, another time I had anxiety when I was hanging around somebody. Like, you know how, say you got a friend who's like, oh hell, I got to deal with this person today. I have one of those friends. I have to have alcohol.
Really?
Yes. Because if I don't, I would just be upset. And I'm not a person who blurts out stuff. So I'll just be upset in my head, and my head will maybe...
You start overthinking.
It'll just hurt. But, he getting on my nerves. It'll be more like that. And just annoyed to like the highest degree, and then my head started.
I'm sorry, you started.
Where did that even come from?
You triggered it. It was sitting on the tip of the tongue, so I had to get it out so we can move forward.
Funny. But so alcohol is good for anxiety. I'm joking, but what I take, what helps me to deal with situations,
make your anxiety go away.
I'm just saying, it helps. And then you have that drink, be like, you know what, he all right.
But I also think it has a lot to do with adrenaline, frustration. You're just getting tense, like whatever it is. I think that's what I think that's why they recommend exercising to help release whatever it is and keep your body loose and release all that stress, because you have to figure out a way to get it out. Like, sex is another healthy way of dealing with anxiety and stress levels. Ironically, even though for a lot of people when they get distressed or stressed out or having anxiety or suffer from depression, sex is probably one of the last things that's on their mind. But if your partner can figure out a way to help create a healthy sexual atmosphere in that dim moment, I think that is another big plus that would help somebody that's going through those kind of situations. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time they don't feel good. They don't feel positive. So you need to bring them out into a space where they start feeling good. Help them feel that happy sensation. Like, play exciting music. Play happy music. No. Because why when you sad, you go listen to
Adele.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna... Like, that's not gonna help you
get through anything.
It actually brings you down because it's affecting your thought process. Right. So it's fucking with you even worse.
Then you're like putting yourself in the song.
But like I said, there's different levels to it, and I think the anxiety triggers panic attack. I ain't gonna lie, I had a panic attack around somebody we both know personally. We've worked with him.
Why?
Because I had the biggest crush in the world on.
Oh, so when you have a crush on somebody, you have a
because I had anxiety when I was around her. Like, and then like I didn't know what to say, and it was like I felt my locking up on me, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I'm starting to freak out. I gotta go. And the minute I walked out the door, it was like,
could she tell?
I don't think that person ever knew.
It's funny. He probably was oblivious to the whole thing.
To the whole situation.
Meanwhile, you making a huge
Because it was a
deal.
group of us, but she was there in the group, and I'm just like, right, in my mind, I'm making this big deal. I'm like,
That's funny.
But yeah, I had extreme panic attack. And the only other time I've had a panic attack that was crazy is I was in the movie theaters. And I think I must have been stupid high. And my body, like my heart was pulsating. So I started freaking because it was pumping so hard. And it started giving me anxiety. Then the anxiety, since I couldn't identify what it was, the anxiety turned into a panic attack. And now I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm in this movie theaters. And it's about to get dark. And I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack.
That's when the weed be making you think about stuff.
I don't have health insurance. And if something happens to me, they got to call the ambulance. I'm going to have to pay extra money for this ambulance bill. And then, better yet, if I have a heart attack, I'm going to die in the theater. And then I go
Now, are these
in the
panic
bed
attacks or are these just pothead moments?
No, like my heart, like no, like I was
Well, I be having
freaking.
Like whenever I do brownies,
I was freaking.
That's what I be going through. I be like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to take this. My heart be racing.
I was freaking.
Now it's like I want to call so and so to come and get me because I want nobody else to know I got brownies. But so and so also had brownies. So what if so and so come here and die on his way getting here because he had brownies and I will feel responsible. I threw up.
Nah, I don't know what that was.
Whenever the 2 times I had brownies,
Did your chest feel heavy?
Yeah.
Did you hyperventilate? You had issues breathing?
No, I was breathing.
No. I was like getting tense in the arm and everything, and the chest was hurting, and I was freaking out. Like, I don't even remember what would calm me down. I think the movie just came on. I was like, okay, I'm just watch this movie. If I die, I die. And then I just chilled.
And I went to the movie like, oh, okay.
But the worst one I ever had was it was the final week of our finals before my last semester. Mm-hmm. So it's like I was done. And I woke up. Actually, I didn't even go to sleep. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I had been up all morning. I couldn't even finish my assignment. And I'm freaking out. I got the shakes. I'm just bawling. I can't move. I was just stuck in the house. Any questions, anything, I'm losing it. Smoking is not helping it. Nothing is getting me past. Because I don't think I really had a plan on what was next. And I freaked out. Because I kind of had an idea, but I didn't see it unfolding. And everything around me was just kind of just falling apart to a degree. And I think I had stopped running post-Katrina. Like, now school is finished, you got the degree, now what? I was just going to get the degree to prove everybody that I could get the degree and finally have the credentials. But then it was like, now what? Because you know you don't want to go work for someone else trying to climb the ladder in the gaming industry. The time I'm investing doing that, we can be making our own, I felt like, with the team that I had, but nobody else saw my vision. And I just started freaking out. Like, and then I had to deal with the Katrina stuff. And then I think that's when I went and sought out therapy. And then when I got that therapist, they broke down. It was like everything. They started from the ground up. I started from childhood and worked its way up. Resolved a lot of different stuff. So a lot of my stuff now really is not attached to my childhood. Like triggers from childhood, maybe unless I'm dealing with my mom or my dad. But for the most part, like what pertaining to other people, I don't get upset from what happened to me as a kid and take it out on them. Most of my triggers are solely my lack of financial literacy and organization and planning so I can plan out my future. Not saying that it's going to happen that way, but just having an idea of exactly what I'm working towards.
Quick question before we get off. Do you get anxiety at work when it's just really unorganized and everything is everywhere and you're in the weeds and you don't know what to do? And I do. That's the perfect environment to create anxiety.
You know what's funny? When I went to go get a job at Kona Grill, and I was talking to one of the managers I worked under, and I explained to her what I was looking for. She's like, I got some here. It sounds like you come to my restaurant looking for some structure in your life.
This happened recently?
It was probably like two and a half years ago, 2016.
Oh, when you worked at the other
When I
place.
worked at the other restaurant, she was like, "It sounds like you're looking for structure in your life because where you're at, you're not getting any structure." I never realized how much structure. Like, think about Richard Ariano, Gina Moon, and that whole crew. Like, it was still structure in that crew. Joanne Langley, like all of these different managers that I worked under had a structured environment. They had rules. This is how the restaurant was going to be ran. This is what you expected. You knew when you came in, this is what you were going to get on a regular basis, and you knew everything was going to be taken care of. And I don't get that when I walk into work now, and I can feel it in the environment. Plus, on top of that, it's just a lot of tension and negative energy from the lack of structure and frustrated individuals. So, yeah, I get it. I have anxiety every day I go to work now.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
But look, man, I enjoyed this conversation.
I did too.
Appreciate it. It was cool. I hope somebody got. I don't know what y'all got from me about anxiety. I hope, if you have any other questions, just put your comments down under the page. We'll be sure to look at them.
What gives you anxiety, and how do you get through it?
Bam, bam. You never know. You might help us. You might help somebody just by discussing it. So appreciate the love. It's Asaneer. Check me out on Asaneer17 Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. What about you?
Deshaun Duran, DESHAUN DURON.
I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Holla. Peace.